Hi there, and welcome to this 5-minute insight. Today I want to talk about salvation. Salvation is about being restored and made whole, being rescued or freed from everything that opposes, harms, or denies life. When we look at the state of our lives and the world at large, there is no denying that we need salvation. All areas of life, from the personal to the global, are burdened by hardship and suffering. From addictions and abuse to famine, war, and ecological disaster, there is brokenness everywhere. The reason for this far-reaching brokenness is sin, a topic which I address in another video. The remedy for the far-reaching brokenness is salvation. 3 key points need to be made about salvation. First, it is both spiritual and physical, transcendent and measurable in practical terms. Biblically, the soul is the whole life of a person, body, mind, spirit, and all the relationships the person is intertwined with. So when we speak of souls being saved, this is meant holistically. All aspects of life are included. A person who is sick or has bodily pain is in need of salvation, just as a person who is burdened by guilt or shame, or a person who is having marital problems. Similarly, a person who is starving and homeless is in need of salvation, just as a person who battles with addiction or suffers from anxiety. Salvation is God's concrete, specific, and practical intervention in people's lives, there where they are suffering. Second, salvation is both individual and communal. Though it is experienced personally by individuals, it is also a social occurrence. It is about the well-being of relationships. God wants individuals to be well and whole, but God's desire to save spans the whole of creation. It includes the restoration and healing of communities, societies, nations. Social justice, world peace, and ecological wellness are all part of God's salvation. Third, salvation is eternal and historical. Biblical writers view salvation as a historical reality that can be felt in our day-to-day life. But salvation is also much greater than what we can experience in our limited dimension of space-time. When we encounter salvation, it is an incomplete manifestation, a foretaste of the ultimate comprehensive salvation that God has in store for His entire creation. In other words, God's salvation spans our known dimensions of time and space, but also transcends those. It unfolds throughout history and beyond. We Christians are not alone in identifying the world's need for salvation. We share this with a number of other faiths and philosophies, even some political ideologies, who, by the way, might not call it salvation, but perhaps something like liberation. What sets us apart from other systems of faith is how we believe the world can be saved. While most others put forth plans and ideas of what we can do or should do to save ourselves and the broken world, Christians maintain that it is God and only God who saves. No matter how hard we try, salvation cannot be performed or achieved by us. No matter how good we are at keeping the law or doing the right thing, we will not be able to save ourselves, nor the world. But God does, through Jesus, whose very name means God saves. He is the central figure in the story of salvation, God's work to bring about comprehensive well-being, all-encompassing peace and wholeness to all that exists. In Jesus' teaching, salvation is linked to the expansion of God's kingdom. Because Jesus invites us to be part of this kingdom here and now, there is room for human agency in God's work of salvation. We are called to become active in proclaiming and living out the values of God's kingdom, thereby becoming instruments of God's salvation. Thank you for listening to this 5-minute insight. Peace be with you.